Hey everybody, it's Rose, sitting on my front porch with my new garden hat, getting ready to do a garden update. Thought I would do it sitting relaxing and show you what's going on in the front yard, and then we'll move to the backyard. I took some pictures last night of my front yard, but want to include it on the garden update, so here we go. I'm going to turn you around so that you can see the rest of the garden. Okay, sitting on my settee, that's my street view. This is what I see when I'm sitting here. I'm so far liking this. Those two pots there I just bought last weekend on sale at Walmart. There's 3 actually. They're daylilies. I need to figure out where I'm going to plant them. That over there is what they call a plumbago. I bought it last fall, and it has pretty purple flowers. I'm hoping it flowers again this year. Hasn't started yet, but we're gonna hope. And over here is, I started this from seed. Those are calendulas. And my pretty irises. I have a new stalk. Kind of got crooked there, but it's getting ready to bloom. I'm really pleased with the way those are doing. And then down there, oops, sorry, didn't mean to move you. In that is wallflowers I started from seed. I'm pretty happy with those. Those are doing really well. And we'll just come down here. And I made this garden bed a couple weeks ago, and I have planted, I do this every time, cosmos. Those are cosmos in there. I don't know why I get stuck on that word, but for some reason or other I get stuck on cosmos. And then one of my planters over here with my nasturtiums and sweet alyssum and some zinnias, which are getting ready to bloom. And back there is some sunflowers I planted. They're coming up. Over there is some Russian sage that I planted last fall. Come back around. Things are doing well. The cosmos is doing well. The English lavender is doing really well. I'm real pleased with that. I have a little pot of rosemary, tarragon, and oregano, which needs to be tended to. It's getting a little straggly. And then over here, I have more cosmos growing. It's doing really well over here. And this is called skullcap. And then I have a couple chamomiles. And then my balloon flowers have decided to open up today. They look so pretty. My daughter got me for Mother's Day this pretty, let's do it this way so you can see. It's a flamingo, and it's solar powered, and it lights up at night. There's a real pretty soft pink glow. And she also got me this meditating frog over here. As you can tell, I love frogs. Frogs are my thing. I think it's from dating so many frogs in my lifetime. And then over here we have some borage that is growing. I planted that by seed a couple weeks ago. And my other container of nasturtiums getting ready to bloom again, and some more zinnias, and some sweet William, and some more over there, some more sunflowers getting ready to bloom. They're growing really well. I think I'm going to put these daylilies that I bought over between this tree and that tree. I'm going to make a flower bed all between there. It gets sun most of the day until the evening, so that's a very sunny spot. I think I'll put a bunch of daylilies in there and some other things. I'm not sure what, but that's something that needs to be done. Okay, we're going to walk around here and you get to see my pile of dirt and the ugly side of my house. Still need to figure out what to do with this pile of dirt. This is the work in progress over here. The wind just blew my hat off. All right. And we get into the garden area just here in a second. Okay, we'll start with over here. I moved my carrots over here because they were getting too much sun. The sun was starting to burn them up. So they're over here and they get a little bit of morning sun, but the rest of the day they're in some shade so they don't get burned up. And I planted my blueberries. There's one, there's the other. And then Jeff, my son-in-law, moved my little tiered thing that I brought from Ohio. Justin made this for me a couple years ago. And it was my green bean tower at home in Ohio. I used to plant green beans in containers and have them going up the steps. But now I've got them in a raised bed. So I just use this as an herb thing for my small pots. These are my blackberries I just planted the other day. I've got 3 in one container. I know I'm not going to keep them there, but they're there for now until I can figure out where I'm going to put them on my land. And then I bought this plant last week. It is a Bougainvillea. I think I'm saying that right. And when I bought it, I wasn't really paying too much attention. It is zone 10 hardy. I am zone 8, so I'm probably going to have to bring it in the wintertime. I have some chamomile. And this is called Moldavian Dragon Head Balm. And this is lemon balm. It's not doing so hot. More chamomile. Sage, which is doing really nice. Bee balm. And this was my strawberries. And as you can see, they're gone. The last one died this week. I started them from seed. I had 6. I have no more. Oh well. I put some basil in there. I'm hoping to, I put some seeds in there earlier this week, hoping to grow some basil in there. I have 1 Rudbeckia, which is also called Brown-Eyed Susan, left. I had 7 or 8, and they're slowly dying. I am learning that perennials are hard, very, very hard to grow by seed. So if you are successful, I hand it to you. Okay, now, this was where my garlic was, and I pulled it last week. And it was kind of a fail. I didn't get very many out of it. But I planted green beans, and there were no green beans in here this morning when I got up. And this evening when I quit work, I have a whole bunch of green beans that sprouted. So that's 5 days germination. This side here is contender beans. This side is dragon tongue beans. And as you can see, the flowers I planted in here earlier are not doing really well either. I think I'm going to pull those and re-put seeds in there, another seeds in there. I'm not sure if the original dirt I had in there was not very nutrient rich, but I added a bag of compost to this when I seeded the green beans. This is my squash. Some of them aren't doing so great, but I've done some fertilizing with fish fertilizer this week, and they're starting to green up again. Those over there are pretty yellow, but the new leaves that are coming in do not look too bad. I'm going to give them a couple days. And if it doesn't green up in a couple days, I'll pull them and I will replant more zucchini. So these are zucchinis in the back. And then here is Cocoselle di Napoli. It's an Italian zucchini. And that one is also a Cocoselle, but it's not Italian. And then I've got some nasturtiums here. We'll go over to this one. This is the tomato bed. I have some royal purple burgundy, I'm not sure what kind they are, green beans. These are purple green beans, and they're not doing well at all. I'm not sure what's going on. It almost looks like they've got rust, but I also fertilize them. Usually green beans you don't have to do that, but I'm going to give them a couple days, see if they snap out of it. The new leaves are coming in, but they don't look very good, so I may be pulling these because I don't like the way they look. But my tomatoes, oh, my tomatoes, they're doing so great. Wonderful. This is a Bonnie Best, and so is this one. One or two of these. I don't know if this one has it. Oh, I don't think so. Yes, it does. There's, no. I was thinking that one of these had blooms. And then I've got some basil under here that's still trying to snap out of the frost that bit them. They're still struggling. And then the last time I did a garden update, I had 1, 2, 3 over there tomato plants that weren't doing very good. And I asked you guys if I should pull them. I didn't have the heart, so I've been babying them with fish fertilizer for the last 2 weeks, and I think they're going to make it. They look a lot better than they did before. I've got some basil growing there, and that's one of the ones that was struggling. And then another, this is a San Marzano tomato. And we have marigolds down the middle. This is the other one that was struggling. And look at it, it's doing really good now. It's not struggling anymore. It's still a little tiny, but it's all green. The colors are back to a good thing. Here's the one I wanted to show you. This is the one I wanted to show you. If you can see, I'm trying to get this. Let's see. Look at that. I have blooms. I have tomato blooms. I'm going to be getting tomatoes soon. That's a San Marzano. That's a San Marzano. That's a San Marzano. And that's a San Marzano. Then down here is my cantaloupe. And they're not doing so good. They're struggling. So I'm not sure what's going on with the stuff that's struggling, because other things are doing fine, and these are just kind of, don't know what it is. Really couldn't tell you. On this side, we have, I'm going to turn you this way. These are my Kajari melons. Well, this thing's not focusing at all. Those are Kajari melons. They're doing really, really well. And then we come over here to my peppers. These are my Jimmy Nardellos. And they're still puny, but they're looking better than they have been. These are my corbachis, and they're looking really, really good. These are my Paprika Peppers. And they're looking good. And I got a marigolds blooming there. And this weekend I also purchased, when I was at Walmart, a couple of poblanos, because I love poblano peppers. There's one there, and there's one over there. And then those are all sweet peppers over there, all bell peppers, all along there. And then my green beans are doing okay. They're doing fairly well. And the last one to show you is my bed with my asparagus and my sunflowers. Look at those sunflowers, they popped up this week. Some are still struggling. I think I'm going to reseed, and some are doing great. But in the middle, I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh, there's one. That's my asparagus. It is still doing well. It goes all the way down the line. I have asparagus growing, and it's doing really well. And then here is Mexican sunflowers. Those are the only two that came up, so I've reseeded. Everywhere you see a bare patch, I've reseeded. So that is my garden update. So happy Thursday evening to everybody. And I probably won't do another update for another week, maybe two. I seem to see the most difference in my garden when I do a 2-week one. But I'm really happy with the way things are going. There's a couple things that are disappointing, but I have a lot of successes so far. I'm excited to see where things are going to go for the rest of the season. Talk to you later. And if you wouldn't mind, please click the like button, and then subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you very much, and you have a great night.